Hey guys, Sajin here. It is July 18th. I'm at Clark Field today. Uh, not at the high school or not inside the practice stadium, the practice track and field stadium at Princeton where they have the sand pit, like the long jump pit. Um, that's where I wanted to be, but field is closed right now, which is strange. But anyway, I did the legendary Doshi warm up 4:49. I started my warm up at 3:30, but I did take a 20-minute break. So people wonder, what is this legendary warm up? Why does it take so long for me to warm up? But my warm up is not only kind of your general dynamic mobility, static work that you do, but I also have to do a lot of PT work in there, right? For my Achilles, for my back, things like that, for my spine. So, man, I'm exhausted. That warm up was good. I feel great, but I'm a little tired, and I need like water. I just have my Gatorade, so it's I want like cold, crisp water. I'm like yearning for that right now. Um, but so that warm up, what that is initially right off the bat, I kind of do a lot of groundwork. So a lot of stuff on the ground, stretching my back out, my hips, things like that. I'm gonna foam roll my shins, my calves, my back, my lats, all that stuff, and then I'll do a lot of like deep seated squats. Like my ass is pretty much acid grass, putting my hands up, mobility work, really opening things up, getting nice and wide, stretching out the biceps, the chest, my shoulders, the forearms. So a lot of mix of ground mobility yoga work mixed with foam rolling and static stretching, right? And then from there, I'll move to band work. So I'll do, just a lot of stretching these out, going behind my back, taping this around my ankle and doing kind of inverted pulls. Again, that's for some of the Achilles stuff. So I'll do a lot of that. Then I'll do a lot of hip specific stuff, raising my leg up, opening it up outside, opening it up inside. Then I'll do the physical therapy stuff, the eccentrics, single leg calf raises, things of that nature. And then my body's ready. Hey, let's go and do the jumping jacks, the clap jacks, the high knees, power skips, the butt kicks. Let's do all of that. So that's where all that comes into, and then that's when I'm kind of warmed up, and that can take you 45 minutes to an hour, but you're good. I mean, you're good for the rest of the day. You feel amazing. Blood's flowing, muscles are loose. You're not tight anywhere. You're ready to go. So that's kind of that. The throwing wasn't too. The good thing about the Sony that's helped a lot is I can see my throws in slow motion, like very clearly, even in the S&Q mode. If versus it exporting it and getting it edited by my editing team. Even seeing it in S&Q, the big problem is for me when I'm going into the back of the circle, my hips are just falling back immediately, which you do want. You do want that lean, that gravity to pull you towards the middle of the circle. But what's happening for me is that there is no movement to the left at all. And there's this, it's like, it's not only an over rotation, which explains why my left hand is flying forward, because taking a step back, if you look at my positioning when I'm in the middle, where my right arm is back, where my right foot is in the middle, you're like, all right, he looks great there. So why is the left arm all over the place? But it's because this left is so overreactive. And the downside is that my left might be overreactive, but it's not even turning my left foot around. It'd be one thing if I was overreactive and my left foot was turning around and pointed down the middle. My left foot isn't fully turning around. So on one end, it's like, hey, you're doing a little too much. So it's causing you to over-rotate and just kind of almost drop backwards, right? And my hips really like sink out versus my hips being forward, right? So that's something that I really need to readdress, and I think that's going to make things a lot better. As it pertains to these workouts, my strongman sprinting, I think now as we come up towards the end of July, conditioning is always going to be whatever it is. Until you actually start training conditioning, your conditioning won't improve at the levels you want, in terms of like really crazy peak conditioning type of shit. But for me, my goal is without a question to come August, start doing some jumping drills, plyos, and start introducing that. I think my quads and hamstrings are starting to get stronger, my posterior chain, my core, so I can handle that load. And let's just start testing it out and see where it goes. So even if it's a few reps, one weekend, and then, obviously increasing that incrementally. I'm excited to do that. And then I think finally in August I might be ready to actually run with this chain. I've only been doing kind of like heavy walks and kind of like taking longer stride walks to really stretch out the calf and really stress it and focus on pushing it off. But I think come August, I think I'm able to start running with that again. So that's kind of the just general, just kind of training recap, overview, how I'm feeling and things, whatever. But today's going to be more of the same. Sandbag carries, bear crawls, gallops. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to sandbag carry up out maybe 50 yards or whatever. Bear crawl. And then either do something with the kettlebells. Actually, scratch that. The problem is that you need to carry the sandbag so far out. There's no way I'm galloping 50 yards. Fuck that. So what I'll do is I'll probably do the sandbag up, sandbag down, gallop up or bear crawl up, and then the reverse down. Do that circuit 3 to 5 times. Excuse me. And then I'm going to do kettlebell swings, superset it with more carries, and just really like kill myself. Like just keep pushing yourself and carrying heavy shit. And just see where it goes. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Anyway, so I'm going to close this preview off and then see you guys when I start training in a bit.